Acquiring a business? BizNexus simplifies it. Access thousands of updated opportunities in our DIY marketplace or supercharge team sourcing with OmniSource, your all-in-one platform for on-market, off-market, and coming-soon deals. Scale smarter today. Learn more or book a demo at www.biznexus.com.
Disclaimer from the always present legal team. Podcast conversations don't necessarily reflect the views of BizNexus Incorporated. Everything you hear is informational news and updates from around the industry. We're not recommending any investments. We're not offering any investment advice. Be sure to do your own homework.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be taking a deep dive into how family offices are buying lower middle market companies.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. So we're talking those businesses valued between $2 and $50 million.
Yeah, the core of the market, I think, where you see most of the activity happening.
Yeah. We've got some great source material today from Akoya Capital.
Really interesting report.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to kind of get your take on it.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
family offices, we always hear about them.
Yeah.
Investing in, funds and stocks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're really starting to directly own businesses.
Yeah. I think that's a big trend we're seeing.
Especially in this lower middle market range.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For a long time, family offices have been investing kind of in the traditional ways.
Right.
But, they're realizing now that maybe they want to get more involved in actually owning businesses and building them.
Yeah. And I wonder why this specific segment.
That's a great question.
Why not just stick with, mutual funds or, venture capital or whatever.
Yeah, why the lower middle market?
It seems a lot more complicated.
It is, but I think Akoya's report actually sheds some light on this.
Okay.
And one of the key takeaways I had from their report was that family offices are not playing the same game as maybe your average private equity firm.
Yeah, that whole 7-year,
yeah,
flip it quick.
Quick flip.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem to be in their playbook.
Not at all. I mean, it's really about generational wealth building.
Yeah, I was reading about they're thinking in terms of decades.
Exactly.
Not years.
It's a whole different mindset. When you're thinking about holding a business for not 5 or 10 years, but 20, 30, 40.
Wow.
That just changes everything about the decisions you make.
Yeah.
It changes how you view risk.
Right.
It changes your growth strategy.
Yeah, well, and the Confer family,
Yeah.
They own Purell.
Right through their investment arm.
Yeah, Walnut Ridge.
And they're really looking for companies they can hold on to for the long haul.
Yeah. No quick exits for them.
Yeah.
They're building something for the next generation.
Yeah, there's that quote where they said they have no artificial timelines.
That's a great quote.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that.
It really says a lot about their philosophy.
Yeah, what if you're a business,
Yeah.
a business owner and you know that you can invest in R&D
Mm-hmm.
and it might take 10 years for that to pay off.
Yeah.
But you're not worried about, an exit in a few years.
Exactly.
You've got that time horizon to, actually let it play out.
Makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
In the decisions you're willing to make.
Yeah. It's like planting a tree and knowing that your grandkids are going to enjoy the shade.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a whole different mindset.
Yeah. And that ties into something else that's really interesting about family offices.
Oh, what's that?
We talk about this long-term perspective,
Mm-hmm.
but their personal connections to the industries they invest in is fascinating.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not just, spreadsheets and numbers.
It's more than that.
Right.
It's a lot more personal.
Yeah.
And Akoya actually points out 2 really common scenarios we see with this.
Okay.
Sometimes families just stick with what they know.
Makes sense.
Right. They made their fortune in a specific industry.
Yeah.
And so they continue to invest in that industry because they have the experience, the connections.
Right. They've got a playbook.
They know the players. They know the landscape. So
Yeah.
it makes sense to stick with what you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes you see families that actually diversify into new sectors.
Right. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Right.
They don't want to be overexposed
Yeah.
to one particular industry.
Yep.
So they'll spread their wealth
Yeah.
across different sectors.
To manage that risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a constant balancing act.
Yeah.
Trying to leverage their expertise while also managing that risk.
Right.
And building a portfolio that can weather any storm.
Yeah. So it's not just,
Yeah.
throw money at whatever's hot right now.
No.
It's really, a chess game.
It is.
Thinking a few steps ahead.
Multiple steps ahead.
Yeah.
Thinking about what could happen.
Yeah.
And how to position yourself.
Yeah. And that kind of brings us to another point.
Yeah. What's that?
That's really interesting about how family offices approach ownership.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about, being a passive investor
Yeah.
sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
They really want to be active.
They want to be involved.
Right.
They want to contribute their expertise. They want to help shape the business.
Right. And there's that quote
Oh, yeah.
from Michael Barnes from Walnut Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
Yeah.
they're operators at heart.
Love that quote.
Yeah.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
They really believe in,
Yeah.
serving on boards. Getting involved in the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Really understanding the business.
Yeah. And for someone who's, thinking about selling their business,
Yeah.
I see how that would be attractive,
Oh, absolutely.
right? Having
Yeah.
someone who's not just,
Yeah.
bringing money to the table,
Right.
but they're bringing, their expertise, their passion.
That skin in the game mentality.
Yeah. It's like having a mentor,
It is.
right? And a champion in
Yeah.
your corner.
Yeah. Someone who's invested in your success.
Yeah.
Not just financially,
Right.
but emotionally as well.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder
What's that?
how they manage risk and diversification.
Yeah. That's a great question.
And because buying entire businesses can tie up
Mm-hmm.
a lot of capital.
A lot of capital. Yeah.
Right.
So it seems like they'd be limited in how many deals they could actually do.
Right. If they're always buying,
Yeah.
a controlling stake.
Yeah. If they're going all in on every deal, they can't do that many deals.
Right. And that's where this idea of co-investment comes in.
Co-invest. Yeah. That's a big trend we're seeing.
Yeah. So tell me more about that.
So basically, how does that work?
Family offices are teaming up
Okay.
with other families,
Mhm.
private equity firms, even independent sponsors
Okay.
to share the investment and leverage each other's strengths.
Okay. So it's like they're pooling their resources,
Exactly.
right, and sharing the risks.
Sharing the risk. Yeah.
And they can also, learn from each other's expertise.
Yeah. It's a win-win for everyone involved.
Yeah.
You get to diversify your portfolio, you get to participate in more deals,
Right.
and you get to access expertise you might not have in-house.
Okay. And Akoya,
Yeah.
they're kind of playing a role in facilitating this whole.
They're a big player in the co-investment space.
Yeah. How does that work?
So they really understand
Yeah.
the needs and goals of family offices.
Okay.
And they've structured their model to
Mm.
be very collaborative.
Okay. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they offer reduced management fees
Okay.
for family offices that commit to co-investing.
That's a pretty good incentive.
It is. It aligns everyone's interests
Yeah.
and makes it more attractive
Makes sense.
for family offices to participate.
Yeah.
But they go even further. If
Okay.
they actually allow family offices to own a part of the general partnership.
Oh, so they're not just investors.
Exactly.
They're actually have a
those
voice.
In the decision making.
Wow.
They have a say in the strategy and direction of the fund.
Yeah, it's a much deeper
Much deeper.
level of involvement.
It is.
Yeah. So we're seeing this huge surge
Yeah.
in family office activity.
I think it's a really interesting trend.
Yeah, in the lower middle market.
They're not just looking for financial returns.
Right.
They want to build legacies. They want to make an impact.
Yep.
They want to shape the future of industries that they care about.
This is really insightful.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we've uncovered some pretty interesting trends here
Yeah.
from, the long-term perspective
Yeah.
that family offices have
Yeah. Mhm.
to, their desire for active ownership
Mm.
and how they're using this co-investment
Yeah.
to really make things happen.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how this continues to evolve.
Yeah. And what it means for,
Yeah.
business owners
Absolutely.
who are, looking to sell in
Yeah.
this market.
That's a great question.
Like how can they navigate this new reality
Yeah.
and use it to their advantage?
Yeah, there's some important things to consider.
Okay.
And that's something we'll dive into
Okay.
in the next part of our deep dive.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
Okay. So we've been exploring how family offices are kind of shaking things up in the lower middle market
Yeah. Definitely a force to be reckoned with.
their long-term vision,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Their hands-on approach.
Absolutely.
But let's flip the script for a second and look at this from the perspective of someone who owns a business.
the seller's perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're, a business owner
Mm-hmm.
thinking about selling,
Yeah.
what does all of this family office activity mean for you?
That's a great question, and I think it's good news for sellers.
Okay.
Because as more family offices enter the lower middle market,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be looking for businesses to buy,
Right.
which means more competition.
Right. More buyers
More buyers, yeah.
bidding on businesses.
Exactly. And that
Yeah.
could lead to higher valuations.
Okay, so that's a good thing if you're thinking about exiting.
Definitely a seller's market.
But could it also make things more complicated?
It could.
Because, family offices,
Yeah.
they seem to have a different approach than like a typical private equity firm.
Right. They're not just looking at the bottom line.
Right. They're not just focused on, getting a quick return.
Exactly. They're thinking long term.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
not just about, having a, pristine balance sheet
Yeah. Polished financials.
and, a strong profit margin.
Yeah, right. What else are they looking at?
Yeah. Where they get scrutinized.
Well, they're going to want to understand the company's culture.
Okay.
How do you treat your employees?
Mm-hmm.
What's your commitment to sustainability?
Right.
How are you impacting the community?
Yeah. It's almost like they're
Yeah.
bringing a new member into the family.
It is kind of like that.
Right.
They want to make sure that this business aligns with their values,
Right.
their vision for the future.
It's got to be something they're proud to own.
Exactly. They're thinking about legacy. They're
Right.
thinking about
Generational.
building something for the long term.
Okay. So if I'm a business owner
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about selling,
Mm-hmm.
what should I be doing to prepare for this?
Well, first and foremost, do your research.
Okay.
Understand the landscape.
Yeah.
Identify the family offices that are active in your industry.
Okay.
What have they invested in before? What are their values?
Mhm.
Look for alignment.
So don't just wait for someone to come knocking on your door.
No, be proactive.
Okay.
Reach out to potential buyers network at industry events. Connect with advisors who specialize in these types of transactions.
So it's not just about getting the highest bid.
It's about finding the right partner.
Right.
Someone who shares your vision for the company.
Yeah.
And be prepared for a more comprehensive due diligence process.
Okay.
You're going to want to go deep.
So tell the story of your business.
Yes, tell your story.
But go beyond just the numbers.
Go beyond the financials.
Yeah.
Talk about your culture,
Okay.
your commitment to your employees,
Yeah.
your community involvement.
Showcase your soul.
Yeah, show them the heart of your business,
Right.
the things that make it special.
Right.
Because they're not just investing in a company.
Yeah.
They're investing in something they plan to hold for generations.
So all those things, become
Yeah.
more.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we've talked about family offices, but what about, private equity firms?
Yes, the traditional players.
Are they being squeezed out
That's a great question.
by all these family offices coming in?
You'd think so, right?
Yeah.
With their different approaches.
It seems like it'd be,
Yeah.
two different worlds colliding.
Yeah, Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
But actually what we're seeing is more collaboration.
Oh, really?
Yeah, family offices and private equity firms are finding ways to work together.
So we've been talking about family offices, kind of taking over the lower middle market.
Yeah, becoming a major force.
But you were saying it's not just family offices.
No, it's not as simple as that.
Versus private equity, it's more
It's more nuanced.
complicated.
Yeah. How these two worlds are starting to intersect is really interesting.
Yeah, I would think that there would be some friction
You'd think so.
with their different approaches.
Yeah. Totally different mindset.
Totally different. Yeah.
But it's not a turf war.
So they're actually working together.
Collaboration is the name of the game.
And this is where the co-investment comes in.
Exactly. Co-investment is a big part of this collaboration.
Okay, yeah. We were talking about that before, how family offices team up
Right.
with other families, or investors,
To share expertise
Right.
and manage risk.
kind of spread the risk.
Yeah. And private equity firms are becoming part of that equation.
Okay.
They bring a lot to the table.
So it's like everyone's bringing
Everyone's got their own piece of the pie.
their own piece.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the ways that private equity firms are complementing what family offices are doing?
Well, private equity firms are really good at the deal-making process.
Okay.
They're structured. They're methodical.
Okay.
They know how to do due diligence,
Right.
financial
They've
modeling.
got the playbook.
They know how to negotiate terms.
So that would be really helpful for a family office that's
Absolutely.
might be newer to this.
If you haven't done a lot of direct investments before,
Right.
partnering with a private equity firm can really streamline the process,
Makes sense.
reduce risk.
Yeah, and then there's the operational expertise
Oh, yeah.
that a lot of these firms bring.
Private equity firms, they're all about optimizing businesses.
Okay.
driving growth,
Yeah.
getting them ready for an exit.
Right. Even if that exit's way down the road.
Even if it's 20 years down the road,
Yeah.
they know how to build value.
Yeah. It's like having
a coach.
a coach in your corner.
Yeah.
Someone who can
help you get to the next level
Yeah.
while still aligning with that long-term vision.
Okay. And then from the private equity side,
Yeah.
what's the benefit for them?
Well, they get access to something that's very valuable.
What's that?
Patient capital.
Okay.
Family offices have patient capital.
Right.
They're not in a rush.
They can wait.
They can wait.
Yeah.
Private equity funds, they typically have a limited lifespan.
Right. They've got to return that money.
They've got to exit those investments within a certain time frame.
So if they partner with a family office,
Yeah,
they can hold on to those investments longer.
exactly. They can be more ambitious with their growth strategies.
Yeah, and potentially get bigger returns.
Potentially much bigger returns.
In the long run.
In the long run, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's really a win-win
It's a win-win.
for both sides.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
I like that, symbiotic, yeah.
The family office gets the expertise, the
Right.
structure they need,
Yeah,
and the private equity firm gets access to that patient capital
and a different way of thinking about things.
and a different perspective
Yeah.
on how to create value.
It's like they're speaking two different languages.
It's like two different languages coming together
Yeah, but they're figuring it out.
to have a more sophisticated conversation
Yeah.
about what success looks like.
This has been really eye-opening
Fascinating stuff.
to kind of see how this whole lower middle market is changing.
It's dynamic, it's complex,
Yeah.
but that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah. There's so much innovation happening.
There is the players who are willing to adapt and collaborate.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going to thrive. Yeah.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
if someone's listening to this and they're a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
in this space, what are 3 things they should take away?
Right. 3 key takeaways.
Yeah.
Number 1, don't underestimate the power of preparation.
Okay.
Whether you're looking for an investor
Yeah.
or you're thinking about selling your business,
Mm-hmm.
you got to understand this landscape,
Do your homework.
do your homework,
Yeah.
learn about family offices, learn about private equity,
Good.
know what they value.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2, craft your story.
Okay.
Go beyond the balance sheet.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
Tell the human side of your business.
Tell your story.
Talk about your culture, your impact, your
Right.
vision. That's what resonates with these investors.
Yeah.
And finally, number 3,
Okay.
don't be afraid to explore partnerships.
Partnerships.
Co-investment is huge.
Yeah.
Find the right partners,
Yeah.
amplify your strengths,
Yeah.
mitigate your risks,
Mm-hmm.
and unlock new opportunities.
It's all about collaboration.
It is.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
It's been a really interesting conversation.
It has.
And I think, we've learned a lot about the lower middle market.
A lot of potential there.
Yeah, for those who
Yeah.
are willing to think long term and
Absolutely.
work together.
Collaboration is key.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thinking of exiting your business or taking on a private equity partner to help you grow faster? BizNexus has you covered. Tap into our network of thousands of best-fit investors, acquirers, and proven M&A advisors, and we'll help you begin the relationship confidentially on your terms, your timeline. Learn more at biznexus.com.